Aid.
She came to my aid. They rushed to his aid.
Amount.
The loss amounted to $100. How much does my debt amount to?
Amount.
Figure up how much it amounts to.
Amount. Appeal. Appeal. Appeal.
He appealed to us for help. Do these paintings appeal to you? Do these paintings appeal to you? This topic is appealing to many. This topic is appealing to many. Rural life appeals to me very much. Rural life appeals to me very much.
Aid. Aid. Aid.
We aided him in his business. We aided him in his business. Mary aided her mother in cooking. Mary aided her mother in cooking.
Agenda. Agenda. Agenda.
What's the first item on the agenda? What's the first item on the agenda? Let's move to the last item on the agenda. Let's move to the last item on the agenda.
Advance. Advance. Advance.
We advanced to the finals. We advanced to the finals. He advanced his departure by 2 days. He advanced his departure by 2 days.
Artificial. 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 Acquire. Acquire. Acquire.
The old word has acquired a new meaning. The old word has acquired a new meaning. The old word has acquired a new meaning. The team acquired 3 new players this year. The team acquired 3 new players this year. They acquired a new pet. They acquired a new pet.
Adopt. Adopt. Adopt.
We will adopt your method at our school. We will adopt your method at our school. We adopted him. We adopted him. He adopted the orphan. He adopted the orphan.
Appropriate. Appropriate. Appropriate.
I was looking for appropriate words. I was looking for appropriate words. I wasn't dressed appropriately. I wasn't dressed appropriately.
Association. Association. Association.
The association has 30 members. The association has 30 members.
Anxious. Anxious. Anxious.
Why are you so anxious? Why are you so anxious? I am anxious to see him. I am anxious to see him. People are anxious about the future. People are anxious about the future. We were all anxious for news. We were all anxious for news.
Accurate. Accurate. Accurate.
The translation is accurate. The translation is accurate. My watch is very accurate. My watch is very accurate. The shots were extremely accurate. The shots were extremely accurate. My predictions were accurate. My predictions were accurate. We need accurate information. We need accurate information.
Anniversary. Anniversary. Anniversary.
It's their anniversary. It's their anniversary. I gave them a present for their anniversary. I gave them a present for their anniversary. They're celebrating their wedding anniversary. They're celebrating their wedding anniversary.
Associated. Associated. Associated.
Approval. Approval. Approval.
I asked for their approval. I asked for their approval. You don't need my approval. You don't need my approval. Your approval is not required. Your approval is not required.
Alter. Alter. Alter.
She altered her plans. She altered her plans. We must alter our plan. We must alter our plan. I think he needs to alter his lifestyle. I think he needs to alter his lifestyle.
Arms. Arms. Arms.
It's forbidden to carry arms. It's forbidden to carry arms. The export of arms was prohibited. The export of arms was prohibited.
Absolute. Absolute. Absolute.
He is an absolute monarch. He is an absolute monarch. Her room was an absolute pit. Her room was an absolute pit. I think what he says is absolute rubbish. I think what he says is absolute rubbish.
Adapt. Adapt. Adapt.
You just have to adapt. You just have to adapt. The young adapt to change easily. This book, The Young Adapt to Change Easily. This book is adapted for children. This book is adapted for children. We must adapt to today's harsh realities. We must adapt to today's harsh realities.
Advance. Advance. Advance.
He borrowed the money in advance. He borrowed the money in advance. Get ready in advance. Get ready in advance.
Assess. Assess. Assess.
How do you assess your students? How do you assess your students?
Administration. Administration. Administration.
The administration approved the budget. The administration approved the budget.
Approach. Approach. Approach.
Winter is approaching. Winter is approaching. I like how she approaches the problem. I like how she approaches the problem. Our approach frightened the birds. Our approach frightened the birds.
Aggressive. Aggressive. Aggressive.
You're too aggressive. You're too aggressive. We need to be more aggressive. We need to be more aggressive. She is aggressive. She is aggressive. He is an aggressive person. He is an aggressive person.
Assessment. 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 Associate. Associate. Associate.
What do you associate with summer? What do you associate with summer? We often associate black with death. We often associate black with death.
Ashamed. Ashamed. Ashamed.
I am ashamed of myself. I am ashamed of myself. You ought to be ashamed. You ought to be ashamed. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Don't be ashamed of yourself. Don't be ashamed of yourself.
Apparently. Apparently. Apparently.
Apparently, I was wrong. Apparently, I was wrong. Apparently the bus was late. Apparently the bus was late. Apparently it worked. Apparently it worked. Apparently, not much has changed. Apparently, not much has changed. This is apparently a good deal. This is apparently a good deal.
Address. Address. Address.
She turned to address the man on her left. She turned to address the man on her left. He always addresses me with, sir. He always addresses me with, sir.
Abandon. Abandon. Abandon.
Don't abandon me. Don't abandon me. I will never abandon you. I will never abandon you. I don't think he's going to abandon his friend in trouble. I don't think he's going to abandon his friend in trouble. That house was abandoned years ago. That house was abandoned years ago. They abandoned their native language. They abandoned their native language.
Attempt. Attempt.
She was successful in the attempt. She was successful in the attempt. We made an attempt to climb up a tree. We made an attempt to climb up a tree.
Acceptable. Acceptable. Acceptable.
Is this price acceptable? Is this price acceptable? Would this be acceptable to you? Would this be acceptable to you?
Angle. Angle. Angle.
A right angle has 90 degrees. A right angle has 90 degrees. My head struck the angle of the shelf. My head struck the angle of the shelf. Measure each angle of the triangle. Measure each angle of the triangle.
Alarm. 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 Aspect. Aspect. Aspect.
Education is one of the most essential aspects of life. Education is one of the most essential aspects of life.
Armed. Armed. Armed.
I'm not armed. I'm not armed. Are you armed? Are you armed? What are they armed with? What are they armed with? The fugitive is armed and dangerous. The fugitive is armed and dangerous.
Arise. Arise. Arise.
Doubts arose in his mind. Doubts arose in his mind. A new difficulty has arisen. A new difficulty has arisen. These problems arise when people try to avoid responsibility. These problems arise when people try to avoid responsibility.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
They readily acknowledge their mistake. They readily acknowledge their mistake. You have to acknowledge your defeat is complete. You have to acknowledge your defeat is complete. She acknowledged him as her heir. She acknowledged him as her heir.
Account. 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 Attempt. Attempt. Attempt.
They're attempting to contact her. They're attempting to contact her. She attempted to persuade her father. She attempted to persuade her father. She was successful in the attempt. She was successful in the attempt.
Assume. Assume. Assume.
I assumed that she was there. I assumed that she was there. I assumed you would come. I assumed you would come. We must assume the worst. We must assume the worst. We assume that he is honest. We assume that he is honest.
Agency. Agency. Agency.
I work for a travel agency. I work for a travel agency. He works for an advertising agency. He works for an advertising agency. Anyone knows this travel agency. Anyone knows this travel agency.
aircraft, aircraft, aircraft,
One of the aircraft's engines cut out. One of the aircraft's engines cut out. How many missiles can this aircraft carry? How many missiles can this aircraft carry? I am going to shoot down enemy aircraft. I am going to shoot down enemy aircraft.
Actual. Actual. Actual.
That is an actual fact. That is an actual fact. Did you actually see it? Did you actually see it? Are they actually friends? Are they actually friends? I've actually heard of this. I've actually heard of this.
Artistic. Artistic. Artistic.
Afterwards. Afterwards. Afterwards.
I'll explain afterwards. I'll explain afterwards. What happened afterwards? What happened afterwards? I'll tell you afterwards. I'll tell you afterwards. I felt bad afterwards. I felt bad afterwards.
Additional. Additional. Additional.
How much was the additional charge? How much was the additional charge?
Anger. Anger. Anger.
Her anger is understandable. Her anger is understandable. He is burning with anger. He is burning with anger. I can understand your anger. I can understand your anger. Anger showed on his face. Anger showed on his face.
Approach. Approach.
Our approach frightened the birds. Our approach frightened the birds. A new approach to an old problem. A new approach to an old problem.
Approve. Approve.
I approve of your plan. I approve of your plan. The manager approved our plan. The manager approved our plan. All of us approved of the plan. All of us approved of the plan.
Annual. Annual. Annual.
The meeting is held annually. The meeting is held annually. What's your annual income? What's your annual income? Paper production increases annually. Paper production increases annually. It's time to make out our annual report. It's time to make out our annual report.
Apparent. Apparent. Apparent.
He left suddenly, for no apparent reason. He left suddenly, for no apparent reason. His symptoms had no apparent physical causes. His symptoms had no apparent physical causes.
Accuse. Accuse. Accuse.
What am I being accused of? What am I being accused of? He was accused of theft. He was accused of theft. Why are you accusing me? Why are you accusing me?
affair, affair, affair,
That is my own affair. That is my own affair. Is he having an affair? Is he having an affair? It was a strange affair. It was a strange affair. Did you have an affair? Did you have an affair? The affair ends well. The affair ends well. She had a very unhappy affair. She had a very unhappy affair.
Appeal. Appeal. Appeal.
The appeal was rejected. The appeal was rejected. The defendant was granted an appeal. The defendant was granted an appeal.